Hello, this is Nick from ReviewOutlaw.com. Today I'm going to show you how to replace a propeller on your Mercruiser stern drive engine. ReviewOutlaw.com. New videos every Thursday at 3 p.m. Subscribe today. So here's a story. I was driving down the Intercoastal from Jacksonville down to Palm Beach, and we're driving down one day, and all of a sudden we were going about 30 miles per hour, looking, at the depth, and all of a sudden we just boom, something happened. We knew we hit something. We thought it could have been a sandbar, could have been a rock. Looked at depth gauge, we were very deep. But the engine just started shaking. The steering wheel started shaking. The engine made a totally different noise, and just something was wrong. So we instantly put it into neutral and kind of checked the back out to see if we could see what had happened. We tried to go again, but it wouldn't plane. It just wouldn't accelerate. It just vibrated. So we narrowed it down to one side. I put my GoPro down in the water, and I could see instantly that we're missing a whole fin off the prop. Now, luckily, this is a dual prop, so it was just the outer prop that was damaged, but I needed to get the model number. So I got it's a Bravo 3, and what you want to look for if you break yours off is also the pitch, and you're going to need the diameter. I try to look at for the prop by engine type, and then for the Mecruiser it's very, very, very difficult to get that figured out. The other thing you want to do, and we hit it was a log, by the way. Later on down the river we saw more logs coming down. It was half floating, so we know we hit a log. But you want to make sure nothing else is damaged, like the bottom fin. They call this the skeg. Make sure nothing else is damaged. And you're not leaking any oil or anything like that, because a log can really do some damage. Luckily, it was just the outer fin. The inner fin prop was bent just a bit, and sometimes that can cause a shakiness on your the steering wheel. But in this case, we just had to replace the outer prop. The inner prop is also hard to replace. You need more special tools. I'm going to provide a link in the show notes to all the tools you're going to need. Make sure you turn your spin them back and forth. Make sure you got, they're not the shaft isn't broken or bent or anything like that, because if you bend your shaft, that's more dangerous too. Also, inside, there's some zincs that got pulled off. On this one, you can tell it has a zinc on the outside. That broke off when we hit that log as well. So that's something I needed to replace as well. But I'm going to put in the show notes a link to all the tools you're going to need, a link for where you can get this particular prop, or maybe if you're looking for a slightly different engine, what kind of prop you're going to get. The pitch is important, so you can't just swap out the pitch for a different pitch, and especially on the dual props, and hope it works. Basically, the pitch is how quickly the boat planes. So having a more pitch, you're going to take horsepower off your top end, but you're going to get out of the hole quicker, or basically be able to plane the boat quicker. So as far as getting the prop itself, there are a couple different websites that you can go to. Amazon actually has them, eBay. There's a couple other ones as well. I'll put in the notes. But I called locally around to see if anyone had them. Again, because of all the pitch sizes, a lot of people didn't. But I was able to, I got lucky actually. One guy had one that wasn't used, just kind of been sitting there for 3-4 years on the shelf, and never sold it. So I was able to get it from him for a pretty good price. So that's what I ended up doing, getting that. And here I'm going to show you what you need to do. So you need a 2x4, and you stick that between the two props and the engine, and that stops it from rotating when you're unscrewing it. So I was tilted my engines up, leaning on the dinghy here, and I had a second person helping me just get that leverage. The water is a little bit cold, and as you can see, I taped all my different sockets and things like that on, so I wouldn't lose that in the water because it was very deep there. So it took a little while to get that angle right and get on. It was pretty stuck on there, but did get them off eventually. And just one bolt, and basically put the other one back on. Also put some thermal grease, and we were back up and running. And that was pretty much all it took. So if it would have been the back prop as well, it would have been a little bit more difficult to fix, but luckily it was just that outer prop. So that's how I replaced the prop going down the Intercoastal. Hopefully you guys don't have this happen to you, but if it does, then those are the steps you need to take to get it fixed. All right, guys, hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. Thanks. Hey, I really appreciate you watching this video. If you have time, please give me a thumbs up, share the video on Facebook or social media, click that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button so you get a notification when new videos come out. Finally, if you leave me a comment, I love those. Really appreciate it. Have a great day, guys.